Hey everybody, here another one. Today we're gonna check out horror movies that instantly die in by waves. So I've already seen the thumbnail. All of the above is a straight no. Maybe Get Out, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a person that goes for random people that find me on the streets. It's actually not, but I'm telling you this right now, the day a random white woman comes up to me to try and rizz me up, I know it's a trap. Because ain't no woman in life done that to me. Ain't no one. So you can't tell me randomly, looking the way that I do, out on the streets, a random woman that I've never seen in my life is gonna try and rizz me up for no reason. Never. You can't be that good. But hey, I guess let's get into this. Before we get started, make sure you go to those polls. One over there is for the new show we're gonna watch next month. Another one's a new poll suggesting shows that we're gonna make a new poll out of the following month after. And yeah, let's get into this this video. Let me full screen it and boom. Don't jump scare me.
Now we have finally entered the month of
wasn't
October.
that bad.
And with October
Barney.
comes one of the best seasons of all time. Something we all mess with. Something that probably makes us all
December's
feel great
better.
and thrive in our lives. Something
me,
that
at
can
least.
take away
I
the
understand why
depression
Halloween's the
completely
thing,
away
but
from
it's not for
somebody
me.
as if it never happened and make
It's
them
a
the
fun,
happiest they've
it's
ever
fun trick or
been.
treating with like younger
And that is
cousins.
Now I'm gonna keep it 100 in. When it comes to different media, I hate horror, man. It's not my shit. I don't mess with
It's
that at all,
not.
man. If you're a person who can sit in a dark alone
I'll never
by
choose to watch
themselves
horror on
and
my
watch
own
a dark
terms for
horror
the most
movie like The
part.
Conjuring or
It
Smile
has to be a
and not
really,
get shook
really
at it,
good movie
you're a
for me to
weirdo. I'm not
consider
gonna lie. You're a
wanting to watch it.
sicko.
Quiet
You're
Place,
probably
I
a
watched all
murderer
those
in
movies.
disguise, you fiend. Get
That's
off my
only
side,
because the
man.
story
Not
was
for real,
interesting
though. I
enough.
watched a decent amount of horror movies in my life, and most of them are low-key good and interesting. When you watch it in broad daylight, I don't ever watch horror movies late at night. What do you think this is? That's what gets people.
Never in your life. Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm watching movies on the Patreon. Shameless plug, $3 a month if you want to watch everything. I'm not watching a horror movie in the nighttime. I can't do it. If y'all suggest a horror movie for me to watch over there, it's not going to be in the nighttime. Best believe that. Granted, there's only like a good few movies that's even over there right now. Toy Story, Iron Man, and K-pop Demon Hunters. And Friday After Next. I watched that for like a Christmas special a few years back. But yeah, not a few, last year. What am I talking about? I've only done this for a year. But yeah, never tell me to watch a horror movie over there because it's either going to be me procrastinating the heck out of it to not have to watch it, or it's going to be me watching it in broad daylight with my hand always on these daggone volume controllers. That's what I'm just telling you this right now. That's what it's gonna be. There's no
Thinking a
avoiding that.
murderer is about to bust up in their crib, it's mad. But with some of the horror movies I've watched by myself and the different YouTube videos on people giving their opinions saying how they can survive certain horror movies, or just straight up box with the villains in a fight as if these men were even on the same playing field, you will get smoked, you liar. You have no chance.
Exactly.
But it got me thinking, what about a video about horror movies that you would definitely die in? Movies where plot armor wouldn't come to save you like it does with the MC, and you get finessed in the first 10 seconds.
I couldn't
Movies where living
survive, for
comfy in your
obvious
crib would be your biggest downfall, and now you have to have a one-on-one with a demon. Movies where you think it would be the easiest to survive, but in reality, you probably end it yourself. And I thought I would bring up some movies I've seen that definitely fit these categories.
Let's be real.
Because you know, most horror movies hold you in the end. You ain't meant to win them, man. It's rigged. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. Beginning with...
No. To get in this situation, you have to be one of the dumbest people alive. If this man is not actively sniper bulleting you with tranquilizer darts, you're not getting me. Because first off, I don't walk outside all the time. The only way he'd get me is if I was doing like a DoorDash delivery, and this man just caught me at the front door. And honestly, even then, it's like, you gotta really have something on you to get me to stay in that place. Like, you gotta quick stab me with that tranquilizer or whatever it is, or you gotta come up with the gun and say come inside. Like, you gotta get me lacking the worst days to get me in this situation.
Now, I'm not gonna lie here, I've only seen a couple of Saw movies. The first 3 since they were all on Netflix, and then a while back I watched Jigsaw and Saw X. But I definitely have enough receipts to talk about these movies. Hopefully we're all familiar with the Saw series. If not, let me break it down for you. So in Saw, you get people who get put into scenarios where the Jigsaw murderer, which in the first movie is known as a man named John Kramer, who's out here putting certain types of bad people like criminals, addicts, or just straight up dickheads into death traps. And his whole
Okay.
ideology behind this is that he says he's out here testing their will to survive. And he sits in his chair justifying it, saying that he's not a murderer as he's giving you an option to survive. Acting as a means of justice towards certain people whose lives got messed over by the same people Jigsaw put into the traps. Which
So it's just some light Yagami type mentality. I got you.
would make sense if
Shout
Jigsaw
out to
wasn't
my
out
Death
here
Note
rigging this
reactions.
shit, because you'll never win. He's a liar. This guy's the most bullshit murderer I've ever seen. He
Exactly.
literally abducts people
Where
and
do you
puts them in
acquire
hold
the
scenarios
funds
where
to
there's
get
no
all
way
of
of
these
coming
murder
out. You're
machines?
finished. For example,
There's no
in Saw
way.
1, we have the iconic reverse
look
bear trap,
homeless.
which
How
Amanda
the heck
Young
are
was
you
putting by
acquiring
Kramer to test
these?
her. And luckily enough, she was able to win and get the trap off her head. But to do this,
Like, how
she
do
had
you
to
find
kill her
that or
cellmate
make
by
that?
stabbing him in the stomach while he was still alive and taking out the key to unlock the bear trap. Now, I'm not gonna lie here. Jigsaw rigged this trap so she could win. This some bullshit. He gave her the most
Exactly.
freest part she could ever have to win. She literally had to do nothing to herself. She had to take somebody else out for her own survival. And in most case scenarios, that's very possible. That's mad achievable. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still pretty dark, but still, you
It
can
is.
do that. And compared to the rest of the Saw traps other people
real,
went through,
no.
this shit is mad easy, bro. It was easy.
Don't
And
you have
right
to
after this,
stick your
Amanda
hand through
goes
some
ahead to
used
become
syringes
the
or something?
apprentice to Jigsaw, who was also out here designing and holding people by putting them in certain death traps they definitely wouldn't win. And right after this trap, you see the rest of them throughout the movies? Yeah, end it all, man. The next I want to
Yes.
bring to your attention is the flammable jelly trap. And in this trap, Jigsaw's put a
Heck
man
is
in the
this?
room and has poisoned him. And the only way to get the antidote is to get into the safe. But to get into the safe, you have to find a combination. And the combination is somewhere on the walls of the room. Now, in the room, it's dark as shit. So to even read the walls, Mark, who's the guy who gets put into the test, has to use a candle to read it. But you see, he's covered in jelly that can light him on fire. Not to mention,
Yeah, it's
Jigsaw
a
put
wrap.
broken glass on the floor.
Okay.
And that was
This, you see why this man, bruh, at this point, become a creative designer for indie horror video games. Like, just do that. Make those hardest to win video games that all the streamers will play from their audience. Because you have to have insane levels of creativity and just insanity to make things like this with no chance of survival whatsoever. But technically, it's one of those things where, like, he says, I make them to where anyone can win. Yeah, but everyone ain't freaking Sherlock Holmes. They don't know how to do these things with high level IQ to make it out of this. Like, you gotta understand.
devil put there on purpose to make this guy stumble. Now in this trap, what the hell can you do, man? You're walking on broken glass, cutting up your feet, which is most likely gonna mess up your balance. Then on
Yes.
top of that, you have to go around the room with a candle that can burn you alive if you even face the light a little bit towards you. And the worst bit about this, the whole logic behind it, the thinking process, the crazy idea that drove Kramer to put
Dang it. I'm sorry. I was so into what I was saying, I forgot
Not to
to push
mention,
it back.
Jigsaw put broken glass on the floor. And that was definitely put there on purpose to make this guy stumble. Now in this trap, what the hell can you do, man?
Nothing.
You're walking on broken glass, cutting up your feet, which is
completely
most
screwed.
likely
There's
gonna
no
mess up
way
your
out of
balance.
this but
Then
death.
on top of that, you have to go around the room with a candle that can burn you alive if you even face the light a little bit towards you. And the worst bit about this, the whole logic behind it, the thinking process, the crazy idea that drove Kramer to put him in this trap in the first place was because the man missed work. This man just wasn't
What?
pulling up to his corporate job, which I know for a fact millions of people do. Everybody bunks shit. I never joined my lessons in lockdown. I was out here playing OG Fortnite. I was never going to school. And just
Bro, imagine missing off work and that warrants you the death penalty. Like, let's be so for real. You miss one day off work. Imagine if all you want to do, like, imagine you work your butt off. You haven't seen pure sleep in months. You finally decide I'm gonna stand up for myself and I'm gonna fake a sick day just to get the mental health that I need. And that warrants you getting put in that situation. Like, at that point, what's the bar? Honestly.
because he didn't go to work. He
Like, you
killed
see what I
him.
mean? It's like
He's
some
a
light
hater,
Yagami
man.
type
How is this
timing. At
justice?
first, some
Giant
criminals and
corporations
stuff.
are evil
Now
anyway.
it's just people
Kramer, you
that's
might as
just
well
at
admit you're
home
part of
minding
them.
their
You're
business.
evil. The possible chance that you would survive the flammable death trap is the 1%. I'll give you the 1 because, you know, RNG can come in luck sometimes. You might pull through, but you probably won't. The reverse bear
Exactly.
trap Amanda went through is
Like
a
I
40%
mentioned, freaking
chance
Death
because
Note, it
even
was
though it's one of the
freaking
easiest
L
ones to
over
get
there.
through, you only have 1 minute to get it done and you also have to kill somebody. And your
What?
mental state is definitely going to be mashed up. Your brain will probably start doing backflips, getting you to waste time. So in turn, you probably just waste enough time to get packed. You're finished there. And then there's a lot more other traps throughout the entire series that just full on hold everyone. Like the bathroom in the first movie, you had to chop your leg off. But as soon as you do that, you will die, bro. You'll probably bleed to death. You'll pass out. The angel trap, finished. Because even if you somehow get the key out of the acid, the key probably would have dissolved so much because at first you probably hesitate to get it. Then by the time you actually get the key out, it wouldn't work anymore. So it's unbeatable. It's some bullshit. And John himself just makes shit mad personal. Because in Saw 2, throughout the whole movie, he just wanted to get at Eric Matthews by using his son. And he put his son into a game. And compared to everybody else who was there, he didn't do nothing. And you know how old he was when he was in the game? He was 14. What shit could have...
He didn't even get into... He barely even got into high school. Mind you, the most a 14-year-old can do on average is be just a jerk. At best, all the 14-year-old can do is be a jerk. If this man hasn't gone to a school and pew-pewed or something, he's innocent enough. Let's be so for real. What the heck could he have done to get that?
14-year-old dude. So what was the point of using him when Kramer is enough of a genius and had Amanda working beside him that he could have just kidnapped Eric somewhere else? How did it end up with him taking his son? Or he could have died in there. That's mad. This is the same guy who says he acts out of justice, but then he went for a kid. He's a sicko, man. Get him out of here. But look, though, there's a bunch of traps in Saw that bring to go against you. Like the whole game in itself is like a 30-70 chance of survival. The odds are against you from jump. Like you're better off sleeping in the corner than you want to try and survive. Just let it happen to you. Because this guy doesn't even want you to think that you can win. As soon as he puts you in the game, he might as well just shoot you in the face. His games are fake. He wants you to die. And if I was a player in Jigsaw's traps, well, hopefully I wouldn't be. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't do shit.
Never. It took me a second for my eyes to adjust and read the title of what this thing just said. Never. In my life. Because you gotta understand, I make too much. People say that I'm stealthy. Like, I can actually come up behind someone and, like, they won't even know I'm there. That's different when, like, dude, a fart will kill you in this world. I couldn't do it. In what way or what world do you survive this? The only way that you can is if you have those sonic things. Let's be honest. You have to hope that when you press that thing, not only do they get you first, you have to hope that they don't push through. And also, you need a gun, right? Or at least something to penetrate that soft skin underneath, pause. But you need something to do that. Imagine if your aim is off and you end up...
Now, when it comes to a quiet place, it looks like it's not that hard to survive. I'll be so real. Once again, I haven't seen...
Again with the freaking... I'm sorry.
This is, and I don't do shit.
I need to stop getting too passionate or else I'm going to keep forgetting this.
Now, when it comes to a quiet place, it looks like it's not that hard to survive. I'll be so real. Once again, I haven't seen all the...
Okay, now I know you're lying. This man said it's not that hard, bro. Do you realize how quiet is? Remember, have y'all seen Quiet Place Day 1? A briefcase fell down inside of an office building. A place with all enclosed windows and everything. It made a small sound and like 20 aliens came from the top ropes outside of that business building to catch a body. That thing barely made a sound inside of an enclosed space, and 20 of them things came. It would be different if it was one of them. It was like around the corner of something. And about 20 of them things fell from the sky to get whoever was in that building. That's some bull crap, bro.
He's only the first one, but from what I've seen, is that all you have to do is stay quiet.
He's going off the first movie rules. He hasn't seen the true carnage.
To never speak or move a certain way for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's impossible. Even though the bar to survive in this movie compared to most horror is definitely lower, it's tedious as hell. You have to consistently stay quiet, otherwise you will die. The family in the movie were walking outside with no shoes. That's how bad it is. So for me to even think I have a chance of surviving in a quiet place, I'm cooked. You mean to tell me if I was taking a fat number 2, as soon as it hits the water, the aliens are just gonna come finesse my head top? What are we talking about here? It's unsustainable to be that quiet for so long. It's not about it being a difficult world to move through. In fact, the world itself doesn't even look that bad. The family looked like they had a good situation going on with their farm. They were eating dinner normally. They were playing board games. And they even play music sometimes through their earphones.
They had a genius for a father.
But then as soon as you do something like fart in your sleep, you're dead. And as a normal person, there is no way you solo a Death Angel. These men are built different. They're out here running at top speeds like how Amanda move when they're getting chased. They can cut through practically anything easily with them finessing the car in the movie.
Y'all remember the show? Hold on, let me go back for real. Y'all remember this show? It was on like Disney XD. Camp Blake Bottom. That thing is. Y'all remember that show? I remember I only watched like a good for season of it, but I remember loving this show. I gotta go back and watch this for like
through
no reason
practically
at all.
anything easily with them finessing the
You
car in
can
the
watch
movie.
like that stuff
They're
on YouTube
bulletproof,
for
which
free.
means even if you find a gun, it wouldn't work on them. It would just get you deleted. And then they have super echolocation, so it's like they can see what
It's
they're
worse
hearing.
than
So to the
Daredevil
average
timing. Like,
person,
let's be
they're
so for
stacked. You
real.
ain't surviving. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it were me, I'd probably be tempted to slap one in the face. They're just the lanky xenomorph. I'd be way too curious. This shit would definitely get me
this
killed.
is intrusive
But it's more so
thoughts.
that in these grounds, they're dominating. It's like being Michael Jordan in '96. You be smoking everyone. Also, you can't afford to be tempted to do anything and everything in this world that will make any noise. If I was out here in an
Exactly.
apocalyptic supermarket
Bro, that's
and
the
I
kind
saw
of
a bag of
sad reality is that people will be
Thai sweet
making
chili
noise
crisps,
for the
you
fun
might
of
need
it.
to listen to me. Look
Just
in
to
here,
see
'cause
how
these
far the boundary
crisps
they can
are
push.
heaven. It has a perfect crunch to it. The sweet chili is amazing, and it's just an enjoyable and different experience. Is what you should write on my tombstone, because I'm eating them, man.
Yep.
If I want to make some fried chicken, I'm probably gonna die as well. If I owned a farm and on that farm I had a bunch of different animals like cows and chickens, if I was milking a cow and it goes moo, I'm dead. If I were to open a door and it creaks, I'm dead. If me and my wife are about to get passionate, intimate, get into the business and preserve the human race, I'm gonna die. What you want to do here, man? There's only so much I can't do. I'm just a man. And let's say by God's grace you had the deaf angel's weakness, which is any high frequency sound like the daughter used without hearing it. Even
Like a
then,
dog
you would
whistle
still
or
die
something.
because God forbid that whatever sound you use would only work.
Like all it does is disorient them at best. They still manage to like get up if they like the moment that they get their second wind, they charge at you with no hesitation. That's like I've seen I've seen all the movies. The moment a high pitched sound goes off, like they'll cry and moan about it. But the moment they catch their second wind, they're up again, and they're gonna charge at you with all that they have left. Like that's what's gonna
death
happen.
angel that's near or in front of you. As soon as you kill that one, like in the movie, more would
More
come
come
running
after
for
you.
They'll be out here sprinting at 99 miles per hour to come and finesse you. They have numbers, so it's over. Best case scenario is if you get the same exact outcome as the mother and daughter did.
It's gonna
with her
happen in the
just being
next
able
movie,
to blam
though.
the alien right
Like,
after
they're
they
gonna
start
have, like,
hearing
a
the
world
sound.
war
But then right
against
after that
the
happens,
aliens?
just accept your fate, bro. You're finished. Look, I'm not saying that Quiet Place is a hard world to survive in. It's just difficult and annoying to be consistently quiet in. Comparing this to other apocalyptic places like The Walking Dead, The Last of Us, or flipping Daybreak, you have a better chance of surviving in a quiet place than these others. Because in those shows, you have to navigate zombies you could see and hear you. It's double trouble. And even though they're not bulletproof and die much easier, you can then again just get finessed by the numbers. The only way I could see myself surviving in a quiet place is either if I live right on top or right next to a waterfall, or I just pull a Disney and live on top of Paradise Falls. Either way, my life is over here.
You see, this one, it's easy for me.
Why I think I'd almost have no chance of surviving Get Out, I'm gonna give the best way you can never be in this situation at first. The most obvious reason that will save your life and keep you breathing. The one thing that's right in front of you that makes the most sense is to just not be tempted by the snow. And I know.
Yes, bro. Yes. I'm telling you, I can't go out like that. I'll never go out like that. You're telling me a random woman approaches me, attempting to flirt? I'm gonna assume it's bullcrap. Or at the very least, I'm very skeptical. Cause first off, if you're attempting to flirt with me and I never talked to you a day in my life before, I'm gonna assume you're stalking me. Or at the very least, you have been studying me to the point where you found me and are trying to insert some kind of communication. Because what the heck does it look like if a random person that you've like never acknowledged or walked by just starts doing that? Heck no, I never even seen Get Out. I just know what's the downfall, and that's who I know I'll never fall for. I don't care if it's snow, freaking what's other words for it? I don't care if it's yellow snow, chocolate snow, what, brown snow, no, whatever the heck it is. I'm not falling for it, cause ain't no way. I'll never believe it a day in my life. Like, you can't
What
get
you
me
think
like
I'm
this.
asking of you is crazy and impossible. But trust me, as a young black man, I know how hard it is to be tempted by the white chocolate. I know from my previous ventures, sometimes you get too addicted to it. But my brothers, we must learn to leave that kind of food behind. Because white chocolate is full of a bunch of food coloring, chemicals, and preservatives. Whereas dark chocolate is all natural and comes straight from the trees. My brothers, stay strong, because we must be free, man. We must be free. But anyways, let's say I wasn't Get Out. It's over, man. I'm dying. When it comes down to it, if you were in Chris's scenario and got invited down to go see your girlfriend's family, you probably
No.
wouldn't think anything of it at first. You would take her word for it. Unless it became so bait that they were trying to con you into taking over your body, when at the start of the movie, it wasn't even like that. They greeted him nicely and came off as a normal family. Even when her brother started moving mad weird during the family dinner, out here talking about frame and genetic makeup, it's sus, I ain't gonna lie. But surely because you love your girlfriend and you want to make a good first impression in front of her family, you'd probably film it. And when it came to other interactions like her mom helping Chris with his smoking addiction, he looked at it as a win at first rather than an uncomfortable experience. So instead of pointing out red flags early, there was a lot to convince Chris that was calm out here. Other things like the groundskeeper being well spoken, your phone not being charged, or even the Fed near the start of the movie being racist, are a bunch of things that you'd most likely be unfazed by. Cause to you, it might just be a couple of common occurrences or coincidences. But then, as soon as you get to the gathering, and everybody out here in every conversation you have is talking about your race, your build, your flipping wood, yeah, by that point, I'd be uncomfortable as shit.
What did she say?
And as soon as you get to the gathering, and everybody out here in every conversation you have is talking about your race, your build, your flipping wood, yeah, by that point, I'd be uncomfortable as shit. They're weird. I'm dipping out of there, man. I would cut. And the more and more black people turning up being a lot more well-spoken would eventually make me feel like, whose mess is this? Go home. So by this point, I'd be creeped out by these men. I would want to go home. And being a loving and supportive person in a relationship, I would turn to the women I love, who is also trying to kill me. The biggest obstacle here for me would be my lady. She would be my biggest downfall. She would set me up and I would actually go through with it. Love is a bitch, man. But let's say I get out the chair like Kristen and knock out her brother. You're telling me I'm supposed to just John Wick my way out of there, make my way through the crib without anyone noticing, get into a car and just drive off? I mean, I probably could, but don't forget, Rose has a rifle, bro. She probably would hear me even coming up the stairs, and then I'm dead. She was really searching up NCAA players and eating cereal and drinking milk separately. She's a psycho, bro. As soon as you see the photos of her with multiple different black people, it's over. Your chances are gone. You're finished. And real quick, I want to go back to talking about the groundskeeper grandpa.
Let's be so for real. Let's say those pictures were just all of her previous boyfriends, minus the whole killing you thing afterwards. You will know right there and then that relationship is not going to end well. Because why the heck are there that many other black people that are with you in this time frame? Mind you, the dude looks like he's only in like his early 30s, late 20s at best. Let's be so honest. And there's that many pictures, and they've all and they're all not here anymore. I'm gonna know right there and then this is not gonna be the place for me. Because what the heck? Why are there this many pictures?
Made grandma. And I'd be damned if I ever hear somebody say the word doggone keeper. Like, what the hell is that, man? I'm a black person from London. People already assume we speak posh as shit.
On
some, hello, governor. Hip hip cheerio. Julie, make me a cup of tea, will you, love? 2 sugars, please. No, we don't move like that, bro. We be on some...
I never heard that. I've never heard that in my life.
I'm in my blood clot, yang. It's weird. So coming from a country that's stereotyped to be very well spoken, I knew this guy was already strange.
Really?
And when it came to the maid, she was out here saying the word tattletale. Who calls anyone a tattletale? Snake, rat, snitch. These are common names used to talk about people that stab you in the back. But her being confused for the longest time trying to figure out what Chris meant was like, have you ever been a kid before? Holy shit. And at her first impression as well, don't forget that they're in the bodies of people Rose lured back to her family to have their bodies taken over. So physically they look young, but they're out here being confused by different words for snitch and calling people a doggone keeper. Get out here, man. And when my man was talking about the African American experience, saying it was positive, I'm from England and I knew that was some bullshit. This movie is kind of shaky to attempt an escape out of. Only because I think I'd firm a lot and think differently of just being in a relationship until it was too late. That shit would get me killed. And if you were to try and survive this movie, you would either have to never visit her family. I'm talking about you make sick excuses every single time and bring us some next up bullshit just saying you don't want to go. Or you do go, you find out all this shit, then you sneak out at night when they're all sleeping and get the hell out of there, man. But in all honesty, once you sit down to have dinner with her family,
your address and
you ain't coming back, bro. You're done. But hey, in honor of spooky season, these were some horror movies I'd sign out of if I were in them. If you got any ways you'd survive or other movies I didn't mention, let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you for watching this far. I hope you have a blessed...
Yeah. The only one that I'm surviving is that last one, because I'm telling you, I'm not going out like that. Never. You'll never see me one day saying the reason I fell is because of a random woman. I'm sorry. I can't go out like that. What the heck does that mean to me? Like, there's so many cases I've heard of people that get with women. And like, the thing is, most of the time I hear the downfall, it's always because of some... the most times I ever hear the worst, like, relationship stories is the ones where they sleep together premarital. Those are when I hear the most like crazy dating stories at. Cause you get what I mean? It's always the ones where it start off as like y'all dated, or like not even a date, y'all hook up, then dated. What the heck? Or like y'all date, then hook up, then something happens after. And like the crazy thing is, the craziest exes are the ones that you sleep with. Is what I noticed. The craziest exes are the ones that you sleep with. Because then when you leave, if you did it good enough, they're going to go insane. And I say that from hearing like all types of stories. The only ones that involve the crazy exes are the ones that you sleep with first. Like, and that's why I'll never be a hookup person. That's not even the only reason, to be honest with you. That's just the reason that I mostly can think of. Because yeah, it never turns out well. From what I've heard and from what I've like, not even just on like the streets, on videos and stories, every single time that's what be the worst kinds of downfalls. I don't want to go out like that. Anyway, that was it for this one. Sorry for the rant. Hey, hope you have a good day and God bless.